And joining us for the Asia Pacific report is Walden Bello. Walden is concurrently the International Adjunct Professor of Sociology at the State University of New York at Binghamton, Senior Visiting Research Fellow at the Center rather for Southeast Asian Studies at Kyoto University, and co-chairperson of the Bangkok-based Research Institute focused on the Global South. Walden, good day to you. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you.
Walden, when it comes to, of course, international events, I'm sure all eyes are currently on what's happening in the Middle East, especially the US-Israel coalition and strikes against Iran. But although it may be happening far away from us and from you as well, the global impacts are surely to be felt. Not only when it comes to gas and energy prices, that's there on its place, but also when it comes to regional alliances as well. What is the regional impact of the U.S.-Iran bombing or rather the bombing of Iran, the U.S.-Israel bombing of Iran, and how is it felt from a South Asian perspective?
Well, as we all know, 1/3 of all oil production takes place in the Middle East, and 1/5 of that passes through the Straits of Hormuz. And a lot of the countries in East Asia are very dependent on oil that passes through the Straits of Hormuz. And I mean, we're talking about Japan, which is 95% of its oil supply, and 70% of South Korea's, is dependent on that Middle East oil. So clearly, it's creating a lot of apprehension and upsetting basically the population. There's already panic buying of oil that has begun in a number of countries. And the Philippines and Thailand have a lot of workers in the Middle East, and in the Philippines in particular, where we have something of the order of 2.4 million Filipinos at the least working in the region. So that the main concern of the Philippine government is at this point, how do we evacuate all of those Filipinos who are out there? The same thing with Thailand. It has also workers in Israel. And I'm in Thailand at this point, and I've seen Thai workers who are taking in photos of them running away from strikes, from rockets coming in from Iran. So a great deal of apprehension and displacement taking place at this point in time. So especially with the announcement of Trump of different goals, and now he's talking about 4 to 5 weeks. This is really, creating a lot of dislocations at this point in time, and we're talking about Dubai and other international airports now being shut down, and not only is is commercial traffic, from Europe affected. It's traffic of workers from Southeast Asia to the Middle East. So all of those major dislocations have taken place at this point in time, and we expect more to come on if the war does not end soon. Now, in terms of alliances, well, and practically all the countries have asked and demanded that the war stops. However, the condemnations, Malaysia has strongly condemned the U.S.-Israeli attacks. Some of the other countries have said, hey, let's stop, but we'll help negotiate. Some of the U.S. allies have, refrained from condemning. the Israeli-U.S. attacks. But Malaysia, in particular, has been very, very strong in its condemnation.
Walden, moving on to matters coming out of Philippines in particular. Well, the pre-trial hearings of Duterte, the ICC in The Hague, about to begin, or in fact commencing. What are we to make of this? I mean, Duterte held the country for a while, the strong man of that region, of that, or at least how he portrayed himself, and now the pre-trial hearings.
Well, Duterte was handed over by the Philippine government uh, nearly a year ago to the International Criminal Court. And so he's been there for about a year now. And, the pre-trial took place beginning February 23 to 26. And basically, what happened was he was charged specifically with 86 extrajudicial killings related to killings of drug users and drug pushers. But of course, that's a small number of the people that were killed in the anti-drug campaign. The Philippine National Police says that there were 6,200 killings, however, other observers have put the figure at much higher, at around 27,000 killings. So basically, the defense was arguing that there was no smoking gun that could be linked to the killings from Duterte, that although he made threats, those threats could not be said to be the cause of the extrajudicial killings. In other words, although there were a lot of killings, there was no pattern to the killings. And the prosecution basically said that no, it was clear that the police were acting under directions from Duterte. So the hearings wound up after 4 days of hearings, and it'll be 2 months. They have 2 months before they issue an order whether or not the trial should go on or it should be stopped. My sense is that Duterte has lost this round. It will, in fact, go to trial. And this is going to be the star case of the ICC. There is so much evidence that 27,000 people were killed at least, and for Duterte to be freed in a trial, it will be a big mark on the ICC's capabilities of trying people accused of crimes against humanity. Now, in terms of its local implications, as you know, the Philippines is greatly divided between pro-Duterte people and anti-Duterte people. And the daughter of Duterte, Sara Duterte, is running. She has declared that she will run for president in 2028. So we can see that this trial has and will continue to have very polarizing effects on the Philippines. And many people fear that Duterte is going to be converted into some kind of martyr, which will then propel his daughter, to victory at the polls and embroil the country in even greater crisis. So that is the fear that we see in the Philippines at this point.
Walden, Bello, thank you for joining us on Radio Islam International this morning with this discussion. Interesting one indeed, especially when it comes to the legacy and trial of Duterte that is about to start in the ICC. And of course, many questions raised. Why Duterte and not many other leaders who are in a similar position, either handed over by their countries or not on trial? But nonetheless, that's a discussion for another day. Walden, good day to you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you too.
Yeah, Duterte.